Okay, for this 13 projects of Halloween, ended up making a shaker card. You know, I'm not really a huge card maker, but you know, these shaker cards are so fun. Had to give it a go. So these ClawMarks, you know, I knew they'd really work well. And even though at a time I thought maybe I wasn't going to make a shaker, but I changed my mind, because if you've watched any of my videos before, you know, you never know what I'm going to do when I come back. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. It's a quick one. Get a close-up of this little zombie guy here. It's a pretty quick one. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so I just got my new release number 5 Oxides. So for this card, I'm going to play with all the new colors. And what I'm going to do, I'm thinking I'm going to be working with the Zombies, CMS 350, and then I think probably doing ClawMarks, and then doing some type of like shaker box. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Okay, so here's another one. Let's see. Just got some brushed corduroy just to get an ink base down. A little squirt on there and some on here. Okay. That's a quick dry. Alright. Just going to clean this up. Alright, now I'm going to take some of the new from Release 5, the Brush Corduroy, some of the Pumice Stone, and some of weathered wood. And I'm not going to do the Victorian Velvet with this one. Let's add a little of the pumice stone too. Give this a good squirt. And because these are like in sections, I remember seeing Tim doing this once, which I thought was pretty cool. So I'm going to do that. And I got my piece here, and we're just going to Isn't that pretty cool? I love when it does that. I could sit here and watch this all day. And so here, which is something I just kind of learned, but I'm not really wanting these layers to like penetrate each other. I'm really wanting to keep them each their own. That's why I'm making sure I'm drying in between. If you wanted the penetration and just a pretty cool effect to happen, I think too, just another style, is to actually let them air dry. Sometimes that's hard to do too though, because you know, you just want to get inky. But okay, so now let's get another layer going on here. And let's get some of this. We could use some blue up here. Let's get some of these little bits. Okay, and then actually this turned into my mop-up, or this, oh here, my mop-up got pretty waterlogged when I was trying other stuff with it. It's alright. Okay, set that aside. side. Alright, so I'm really liking these colors in here. I think that's going to give me a really good base. So I'm going to let the rest dry and then come back with the next step. Okay, so I'm really liking where this is going, and I'm going to use Stripes and Holiday Type. This is one of my favorite stamps when I just want a little, add a little bit of interest. So I'm just using Walnut stain, regular distress ink, and I'm going to ink it up and then just spritz it. And I'm going to be very generous because I want this to actually kind of penetrate this ink that's on there. There we go, and I'm just going to put this on a paper towel, a wet paper towel, so it can, I'm just going to lift up in some areas, so kind of where there. Yeah, I like that. That'll be a nice. I'm feeling like I'm losing some of the Halloween feel to this, so let's see. Let's add in, I think it needs a bit of orange. So let's add in some, so I've got my pad for that one under there. I'm just going to add this in little areas. Yeah, I think this adds just a bit of, yeah, it adds that Halloween feel back into it. Maybe if we want to add a couple, just, let's even grab some of this here too. Where's my clean? Just grabbing up some of this. Okay. Yeah, I like that better. And it's had a good chance to penetrate, so let's lift up some of it. Okay, I like that, so weathered wood. I like to mix them. Maybe some chip sapphire. Where'd my screw? Oh. Okay, and then I've got this piece here that I had kind of stamped off onto. Okay, let's see, let's get some of the weathered wood in here. Just like right around here. Mop-up sheet. Okay, now I'm going to use the ClawMarks and cut out a bunch of ClawMarks, and I will be back. Okay, so I've stamped the zombies onto specialty cardstock. It looks like this. I really like the way that I'm able, when I'm doing watercoloring or using any kind of water, I just really like the way that the specialty stamping paper works with the water for coloring images. So I'm going to use dried marigold, that's the new color, and scattered straw, lighter colors to start with. Pumice stone. And just kind of start to just have a little bit of fun with something's on my brush. The eyes. I'm leaving it in the stamping platform because these oxides, they do have a pigment in there, so they're more opaque than regular inks. So then this way I don't have to worry, and then I can just re-stamp these. Okay, so those are dry now, so I'm going to re-ink my stamps. And re-stamp them. There we go. Okay, so they're cut out, and I want to add some shadowing to these ClawMarks. So I've got just regular black soot, and I'm just going to start from the inside and come out. Light touch. Okay, that made them pop. Let's see. I'm figuring I'm probably going to put bones in there. Shakers and I don't know, some glitter maybe. Alright, let's get this darkened up a little bit. Light touch. And then let's put just a little bit more down and add some splatters. Okay, so I've taken and ran this through a alterations embossing folder. I believe this is retired, discontinued, called Haunted Halloween or something. But I just wanted to add just a little something to the background in the shaker. So, and is that going to give me enough of a, yeah, it's not going to quite show up as much as I'm hoping. So maybe, here, let me try pad to paper. Usually that's a little more intense, yeah. Okay, so these holes may end up being a little bit too big for a shaker box, which we'll just rethink it. And Tim was on Instagram the other day doing some Halloween hacks, and so he had taken some of the rock candy and added alcohol ink to it and colored the glitter. So I've kind of been in a glittery mood. Yeah, Tim can do that to you. So I've done the same. I've got some rock candy in here, and I just followed his steps and added some pitch black and just mixed it around, let it dry on a paper towel, and it is ready to go. And I want just some of these raised numbers to be glittered. So I've got some collage medium here, and I'm just going to lay it out on my non-stick mat over here, which I've ordered a new one. Not that this bothers me, but and then I'm just going to take my brayer. This is the small Ranger brayer, and just kind of get this smoothed out on there. And then just with a real light hand, rolling this across, and it should be grabbing only the raised areas. Just take a peek, see? Yeah, see how it's only kind of wet in that area. So then now I'll just take and put my glitter Yeah, that looks great, doesn't it? I think so. It's going to add just a nice little addition to that. And so I'm just going to put this back in the cup, save it for another time, and then get this in water. And then I'm just going to scoop my collage medium right back into my jar. So none's wasted. Looking at this, feeling like I wanted to pull some of this blue that's in the background and edge it, just to pull the two together. So I'm going to take, now I'm going to go with chipped sapphire. And I'm actually going to use my mini first. I have a chipped sapphire in the mini. But I'm going to use the regular distress ink first, just to get a real nice base on there. not getting enough, so I'm just going to squeeze it right out with a little pressure onto my mat. It'll give me a nice saturation of ink. So I decided I really do want a shaker card. So I have some of the mixed media foam sheets by ThermoWeb, and this stuff is so great to work with. I just can't, it's so easy, I just can't stop using it. So I have a couple of dies in my stash. These are some kind of, from one of the Sizzix, I don't know if they were fancy card makers or whatever. I'll list them in the descriptions, but what I did is I wanted it to be a little thicker than what the actual thickness is of these, so then I just cut 2, and in order to make sure that I had the same size for both, I just washi taped them and ran them through. So I'm just going to stick these together. And I'm going sticky side to non-sticky side, so then that way once I assemble it, my acetate piece will fit to this side. And this is going to be a little fiddly, so I'm going to slide it back so I can see it and then you don't see my head, my fabulous blue hair. Okay, now I also realized that once I put my top sheet on here, the foam sheet was a little bit bigger. So what I found was in my stash of paper, because we all have stashes, right? I have the paper company. This one's called Ming Blue. It's got a real nice texture on it, and it really picked up the distress ink. The chip sapphire looked really nice against this. So I'm just going to ink up these edges. Just to make that texture stand out a bit. You could also, if you've got a texture like this in your paper, sand it or leave it, whatever's your look you're going for. Now, when I lay this on top, of course, I've got to cut out the blue so then my shaker part comes through. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark my outmost claw marks and know that that's where I have to cut out this blue. So if I just get a mark there, that's my my furthest spot out here. This one's here, and then this one's here, and that one's there. And so that gives me a real quick general idea of how far I need to cut this back. So let's just get some cut lines in here, and all I'm doing is, I know that's how far it's going to come out, so I'm just going to move it over just a little bit, and then I'm keeping this portion here lined up with my edge of my paper, and that looks pretty good to me. So I'll just draw a quick line, doing the same over here. This is also a nice little trick if you're layering up a bunch of papers and you don't want to waste all that paper that's not going to be seen under, you know, like if, you know, you want to save on paper, you know, if you're layering up, then just cut out that inside of this blue and save it for another project. And then here's there's this one. So let's go about here. Okay. And now you could use your paper trimmer, or I'm just going to use scissors because I don't feel like grabbing my paper trimmer out. So that's going to go there, and then where is my, here it is. And okay, so while looking around, I realized I don't have a lot of bling to add into the shaker box. But I do have the sheet of Halloween Rub-Ons. So I thought it would be kind of fun if I took and added these words into the shaker. So I've got the rest of my specialty stamping paper here. Remember, I stamped the zombies on it. And I'm just going to place these onto here. Then we're going to ink it up, and then we're going to cut them and make them into like little, I don't know, sequins, whatever you want to call them. So I've got my handy dandy little tool here. I'm just going to start rubbing these. Okay. There we go. So let's just get down some. You know what? I'm actually going to cut these and split them up. So then that way, let's see, we'll have some blue ones. We'll have some carved pumpkin. What other color do we have in here? Yeah, let's go with some orange. Maybe a little rusty hinge might be too close to carved pumpkin for the word. So how about if we do some brushed corduroy? So I'm going to, well, we used weathered wood too. Maybe I want to go with that one instead of the chipped, so then it doesn't blend into the background. So I'm going to use those. Okay, so I've got the pieces cut and inked up on the edges with just some archival. Let's see. So we'll just put them in here like so. Now I also was finding that my acetate piece was kind of coming into my shadow box area, so I just took and put a couple, trimmed a couple black foam pieces and put them inside there. So I just want to try to avoid those so I don't stick the word to them. So let's just, these are on these tips, so here, 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 and there. So I'm just going to add these down here to avoid those. So just add them in here, trying to keep them right way. There we go. And then I also have this floral craft, this diamond dust, and I'm going to be adding this inside the shaker box, mainly because this is like a really thick kind of crystal, so then that way it's not going to stick to or get caught up in, hopefully, any of the other the rock candy I have on here. If I go with a real small, then it's all just going to probably get caught and layered up on there. So that's my thought anyway. So just add some in there just to this needs to be kind of flat so I can glue it down. And I think that's going to be good. Okay, so now I can remove this sticky piece. Like so. Okay, now the real test. Let's try a shake. Loosen up those words. Oh, there we go. Alright, I think that's fun. Alright, so now to complete just a little focal or accent, I've decided to, you know how we had those, my intention was to use these zombies. Well, having all three of them on here, it was covering up a lot of the wording, you know, and it was just covering up too much. So what I decided is I'm going to take and layer these two and then put them on just a round circle here and then have him biting some of the words. So to do that, I'm just going to take and have some collage medium here. And I picked this one because I don't know, I think in the end his coloring was the best, and I don't know, I just liked him. So we'll just put some collage medium just at the top here so his mouth is going to be open. And then I'm not going to worry about the ear. Oop, it's sliding a bit. Got to give it a sec so it can set. I'm not worried that his ear's coming through because it kind of in a way looks like a shadow, or maybe, you know, a piece of his, I don't know, skull is coming off. I don't know. But I do want to remove and trim up these little metal things out of the Frankie zombie's head. So I'll just trim those back. And that's what he's going to look like. Just bend these up a little bit so the dimension comes through. And then I was thinking to pull some of the black. I'm going to add a little bit of the black glitter to this piece here that's going to go behind the zombie. Not too much. I don't want a full, just a little bit here and there, just to, again, pull it all together. So let's just, and I did ink this too. A little there, maybe a little here, and then a little here. Because I don't know, I like to work in threes. And then we'll grab my, where's my dilly sheet? No, I don't need to. Let's just do this. Yeah, I think that's just going to be just enough. Thank you for joining me. If you like what you see, please do, like and subscribe, and be sure to click on the notifications so then that way you're notified when I post new videos. And as always, have a wonderful day.